Hello, hello, hello. Oh, there we go. Can you hear me now? For some reason, here. Hello, 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 hello. Yay, okay. All right, there we go. So that was embarrassing. All right, so everything I said was just another example of technology like getting the best of me. I literally spent the entire day. I spent all of yesterday sleeping off my jet lag. All of today dealing with the credit card fraud. I had Uber fraud. One person took 2 Uber rides down in Southern California today on my Uber. Don't know how that happened, but that's been stressing me out. Yeah, just really weird stuff, and not fun. Had to get a new card, so I've been having to update everything, and then I'm starting again with my other jobs and having to do onboarding, and it's just been a whole hell of a lot. So I just wanted to read tarot tonight. But how are you doing, love? I hope you're doing great. Did you end up any developments with the job that you applied for? So yes, I can answer any of your questions with the exception of medical and or legal questions. I'm also a psychic medium. If that is, I can communicate with those who have passed on. If that is something that you are interested in, please let me know. I will need to know their name, their date of passing, their date of birth, and their relation to you. Um, and that is the information that I need there. Um, I answer a lot of romance questions with a different one, yeah, but it's just taking a while for HR to call me. Yeah, yeah, I've been dealing with HR today myself, love. Yeah, it's they certainly take their time. No offense to anyone out there who does work in HR or used to work in HR, but holy moly, guacamole. Um, yeah, not the most fun to deal with. My goodness. Um, yeah, I answer any questions with the exception of medical or legal. I answer a lot of romance questions, but I also answer a lot of spiritual questions, finance, career. Um, I have a few different types of readings on my menu. I have a soulmate confirmation reading that I do if there's somebody who you are questioning in your life, wondering whether they're a soulmate of yours. Or conversely, we can also ask your spirit guides and your angels if the person in question, if your spirit guides and angels give their blessing, give their divinely ordained blessing towards a connection between you and someone in your life. And it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic either. It could be, we have many different soulmates and they come in many different varieties. And if the answer is yes, they will explain why. If the answer is no, they will also explain why. So that is always very interesting reading to do if you are dealing with matters of the heart. And speaking of matters of the heart, I always recommend my thoughts, feelings, and intentions spread. I recommend that for more than just romantic readings. It answers 3 questions in one, and it can be done with a 5-card mini reading or a 10-card full reading or a 15-card in-depth reading. But it answers what their thoughts, their feelings, and their intentions are towards you, in addition to your general energies as well as their general energies. And again, it doesn't have to be necessarily for someone who is of a romantic, has a romantic nature. I've done the TFI spread for people's coworkers, neighbors, family members, friends, pets, you name it. I've done the TFI spread for that, and it's no additional donation amount. It's just a suggestion. I always offer for readings. I also do past life regression therapy. I've been studying past life regression therapy for many, many years. I have been regressed. I've regressed others, and then I discovered a way to utilize tarot in order to access people's past lives. And it can be done really with any intent. It doesn't have to be with the intent of a past life that illustrates one that's most relevant to your current life's journey right now. It could be, we can ask with any intent, really. And those are always really, really fascinating. I also offer private readings. I offer 2 different types of private readings. I offer them by appointment only. Email me if that is something you are interested in. There's quite a few advantages to private readings. You get the discretion that a live stream just can't offer. And you can also provide me with all of the backstory necessary that you want to provide, all the context, all the backstory that you need. And we just received our first donation. Thank you so much, Miss Jessica, for your donation, love. Please go ahead and post your question right there in the chat. Thank you. Patrick apologized for not showing up for me the way I needed recently, but I'm wondering if he will apologize through actions. Okay. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, will Patrick apologize to Jessica through actions and not words? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, will Patrick apologize to Jessica through actions? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, will Patrick apologize to Jessica through his actions? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, will Patrick apologize to Jessica through his actions? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, will Patrick apologize to Jessica through his actions? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, will Patrick apologize to Jessica through his actions? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, will Patrick apologize to Jessica through his actions? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, will Patrick apologize to Jessica through his actions? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, will Patrick apologize to Jessica through his actions? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, will Patrick apologize to Jessica through his actions? Alright, love, we have 7 of Swords reversed, King of Wands reversed, Judgment, 8 of Cups, and 5 of Wands reversed. Of course, I'm going to be honest here, love, but we've got both the 5 of Wands reversed, the King of Wands reversed. These are both action cards. These are about actions, not words, and they're both in their reversed form. Do I think that he is sincere about his apology? I do. With the 7 of Swords reversed, I do think that it was a sincere apology. However, actions do speak louder than words, as you know. And with this Eight of Cups, I get the sense that he's either hoping that things will just blow over and you guys can just move on, move past this. But I don't see him, unless being totally pushed to do so, I don't see him taking action on his own accord. We do have this Judgment card right here in the center, which is telling me, in addition to this Seven of Swords reverse, is also telling me that he does feel sincere about his apology and where he went wrong, but the actions, I just don't, I don't see them coming. I feel like it's something you might have to prod for, to see. That's how his energy seems, just waiting for me to come around. Like waiting for you to push him in that direction, because he's not gonna take the action. Five of Wands reversed, King of Wands reversed. That's a man who's not taking action. Do I sense sincerity? Yes, I do. But it's the truth. Actions speak louder than words, and he wasn't there for you the way that you needed him to be, and you need to see it. Words don't. You can only feel so much through words. And I get the sense that if you were to prod him in some way or suggest, like, hey, I need you to show some action here, he would there's a good chance that he would take some action. I just don't see him doing it on his own accord. But I also do sense guilt. He knows he was in the wrong. He knows his behavior wasn't right. Yet there's a very hands-off attitude here. Like wanting you to take the helm when it's really not your responsibility at all. It's just not. It's 100% his. You guys have talked, but you need more than that. It's very, very passive. It's very passive, because I definitely see someone who knows that they did something wrong and feels sincerely about what they've apologized for. And of course, I'm not saying he's a bad person or anything like that, but it is very passive. It is very passive, and dare I say, a little lazy here. You did nothing wrong here. You're the one who deserves the action, the care necessary. Yes, that's been an ongoing issue. I can get dates. I just have to ask for them and choose where we go. Gotcha. He wants you to take the helm. Yeah. He wants you to take the helm, and that just might be the kind of man that he is. Yeah, it is. It's a lazy energy, and there are men like that who don't take that action. If you do want to go on a date, you've got to bring it. They'll take you out, but you've got to ask them to do it. I've been there. I've been in relationships like that, and it's nice that they do take us out, but it's nice to be asked out. It's nice to have that extra level of attention and awareness in the connection. So and I don't want to, part of me is thinking, like, is he just super duper busy right now, overwhelmed with work, family life, etc. And I don't want to make excuses for him, because I don't think those are excuses. I don't think those are legitimate excuses. He's he's your partner. He's the father of your child. and he should be there for you. And he's just not, he's not being there for you in the way that you need 100%. Yeah, that's and I don't know if this has been a pattern or if this is kind of something new that you've noticed. But I mean, if we think about, his ex, she seemed like a really pushy person, and it makes me wonder if he kind of needs pushiness. And I'm not telling you to be a pushy person, but I'm saying it might be something that he's used to, or is convenient for him at the end of the day. So yeah, I wish I wish I had better advice for you. You deserve a lot better. His mom was more alpha while his dad was passive, so I realized that. Okay. Okay, so he grew up with that. Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. And I've been with guys like that too. You can observe how they are based on the type of parents that they had. And yeah, if they had a very dominant mother and a passive father, they're going to tend to want a dominant woman. And I'm not saying that you're not a dominant woman, but I get the sense that this perhaps it depletes your sense of divine femininity, being fully seated in your divine feminine. Yeah, you need a leader, you need a partner, and you can't be calling all the shots if you don't. Some people like to, but if you don't want to, if that's not your style, something's gonna have to give here. Because I think that the observation you made just now about his mother versus his father is pretty relevant there. And you can't change who you are, and you shouldn't change who you are, and you are who you are, and he loves you for you. But this might be something that you guys need to discuss on a deeper level, perhaps. Because yeah, that's rather troubling. I'm really sorry, Jessica. Yeah, I wish I had a better conclusive advice for you. But I have seen this before. Men wanting less to take the lead. And we all want different things, and it just sounds like you guys aren't 100% on the same page at this time, but it's not permanent, it's just something I think needs to be discussed deeper. Yeah, and again, I don't think it's something that can't be rectified, or changed here. I do think it can change. I do think it can absolutely. I think you guys can work together. It will take some discussion. Hey, Mahogany, how are you, love? Absolutely, and thank you so much, Miss Jessica, for your donation. Thank you, thank you. Let's go ahead and add you here. That's all I have on my Cashapp. Oh, you're fine, hun. You're fine. You are all good. Thank you very much for your donation. Sorry, one sec. And thank you so much, Mahogany, for your donation. Sorry, one sec here. Sorry, just one moment, please. Thank you. Sorry about that. Okay. Let's get right on into this. And thank you again, Miss Mahogany. Let me go ahead and add you. Okay, how will he feel about me being distant? Okay, let's see. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Patrick feel about Jessica being distant? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Patrick feel about Jessica being distant? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Patrick feel about Jessica being distant? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Patrick feel about Jessica being distant? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Patrick feel about Jessica being distant? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Patrick feel about Jessica being distant? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Patrick feel about Jessica being distant? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Patrick feel about Jessica being distant? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Patrick feel about Jessica being distant? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Patrick feel about Jessica being distant? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Patrick feel about Jessica being distant? Sorry, one moment. Okay, we have King of Swords reversed. Hi, Wendy, and thank you so much for your donation, love. I'll add you in just one second. We have King of Swords reversed, Queen of Wands, Seven of Swords reversed again, Eight of Wands reversed, and Temperance reversed. He will not feel very happy about this at all. He will feel as though it's somewhat unfair with this King of Swords reversed. He may feel as though you're trying to manipulate him in some way, which is not what you're doing. You're trying to initiate action here. And with this Queen of Wands, he sees you in your power. He sees you, and he sees that you have power and that you're taking action here. And I don't think it pleases him too much. Again, we have the Seven of Swords. I want just a bit of clarity here. Where the bloody hell is is because when cards repeat themselves, we need to double check, right? The Seven of Swords reversed. Seven of Swords reversed is usually about stopping playing games, an end to playing games. He may see this as like game playing, and I also don't see him taking action or communicating very well either with this Eight of Wands reversed, because Eight of Wands is not only an action card, Wands, but it's also the communication card. And with this Temperance reversed, I see it. I see this setting him off course here, off kilter, off balance, as if you're not off balance, and as if your equilibrium isn't already off. I don't see him responding well. I see him as I see him viewing this as some type of manipulative tactic when it's just not. It's you making a point. It's you making a damn point here. Making yourself, you know, if he's not going to listen to your voice the way that it needs to be listened to, but you know, you're going to have to show in actions. And you know, you perform actions for him, you communicate with him. So if he's not going to be receptive to these things, you have every right to pull away. But if this is how he's going to feel about it, I just don't know what the success rate is going to be. Unfortunately, this all seems very unfair, especially this King of Swords reversed. I see this as two things. I see this as not only him seeing you as being unjust, but this is him. I think this is him being the unjust one, being unfair, being imbalance. King of Swords reversed, Temperance reversed, not taking action, not responding, not being communicative, not wanting to, seeing this as playing games and not wanting to play games, which I understand, but if he wants to avoid game playing, then he needs to come correctly towards you. Excuse me, hiccups. He needs to come correctly towards you if he doesn't want to see game playing, which this isn't. This is, you know, this is your way of silently telling him, you know, I need more. I need more than what you're giving me. And I'm not asking for a whole lot. You know, you're really not. I really hope that communication can help set this free in some way. But this Eight of Wands reverse concerns me. King of Swords also concerns me when it comes to communication as well. And Temperance reverse. I feel like he may retaliate. I think he may mirror you, and pull back as well. So I as much as I think it's absolutely fair for you to do so. Thank you very much for your donation, Brian. Thank you. As fair as I think it is for you to do so, I don't think that unfortunately, I don't think it would be successful. I think the most successful thing at this point would be to do your very best to continue communication. It's hard not to pull back, or to at least want to pull back. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm not trying to find excuses or make excuses for him at all. I don't know if he's got things going on in his life or what, but this just seems really out of character for him. It's very surprising to me that this is what I'm seeing. Um, I do think that you guys will find a solution to this. Um, I just don't know if that's the way that it's if that's the correct path or the most appropriate, helpful, useful path. Um, should I go ahead and take the leap to reading from your contract? Sorry, 1 second, Mahogany. I'm just finishing up Miss Jessica's. I don't know if this would be the most useful method here, but you know, something's got to give. Your voice needs to be heard. You need more. Um, I think the best thing to do would be to just communicate as much as possible, and see how things go from there. Um, this seems out of character for him. Um, so I'm really hoping that this is something temporary here. Um, you're very welcome. You're so welcome, Jessica. Thank you. I really appreciate you. I'm really sorry that you're going through this, and you certainly, nobody deserves that. Certainly not you. Um, and I've definitely been there, where it's you know, where you want to pull back, and it feels appropriate. It feels like the right thing to do. Um, but I do think that you guys will be able to work this out. Thank you so much again, love. I really appreciate you. Miss Mahogany, thank you for your donation. Should I go ahead and take the leap to using a funded account to trade and earn profit? I've been studying and strategizing, and I definitely have a better handle on things. Okay, let's see here. You too, Miss Jessica. Much love and light to you. You sleep well. Get some rest. Get some peace. Okay, should Mahogany go ahead and use a funded account to trade and earn profit? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Should Mahogany use a funded account to trade and earn profit? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Should Mahogany use a funded account to trade and earn profit? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Should Mahogany use a funded account to trade and earn profit? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Should Mahogany use a funded account to trade and earn profit? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Should Mahogany use a funded account to trade and earn profit? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Should Mahogany use a funded account to trade and earn profit? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Should Mahogany use a funded account to trade and earn profit? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Should Mahogany use a funded account to trade and earn profit? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Should Mahogany use a funded account to trade and earn profit? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Should Mahogany use a funded account to trade and earn profit? Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Cups reversed, Four of Cups reversed, the Star reversed, and Queen of Cups. It would be a risk. I hate answering things like this, but it could really go either way. It's not looking great. I want to get my financial definitions here, but starting with this Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is slow, is usually a slow development over time, slow growth. Um, so it is possible that you would make money, make a profit, but it would likely take some time, um, likely longer than you would ideally want. Um, I want some clarity with this Eight of Cups reversed. Um, Yeah, it's definitely taking a leap. Definitely taking a leap of faith here with this Eight of Cups reversed. It really could go either way. I do believe that over time it would provide you with profit. With this Queen of Cups, I do think that in time it would, but time is definitely of the essence here. I do think that it would take a little bit long. I don't. It could take quite longer than you would ideally want to see in terms of timing and growth. I want some clarity as well with this Four of Cups reversed here. Um, yeah, you definitely have, and Spirit is saying that you definitely have the patience, you definitely have the willpower um, to, to find success in this, to make a profit. It's just I do see slow growth. I can't stress that enough with this Seven of Pentacles. Pentacles being money, Pentacles being financial growth, but often taking a longer time than one would ideally like to see come to fruition. But those are usually the best investments to make. Those usually have the greatest gains um, towards the end. Um, with the Star reversed card, though, I'm a little concerned here. Um, okay. Oh, wait. No. Sorry. Um, okay. Yeah. Spirit is saying here to definitely hold on to hope. There is there is absolutely potential for you to make a profit here, to to take that leap, and that's part of the Star reverse as well. Is having that, taking that leap of faith, having that hope, um, in knowing that this will work, because it is taking a chance, and any kind of investment is taking a chance. It's part, I don't want to call it a gamble, but it is in a way a bit of a gamble. Um, yeah, they are very interesting cards here. As much as we do have reversals in their financial definition, they are showing promise. That I am seeing yes. I am seeing a yes. You will make a profit. It just won't happen as quickly as you would ideally like to see it. And I don't know how long you're wanting to wait, or how ideal it would be, how ideal the timing would be for you to see a return in your investment. But Spirit is saying you would see a return. You would definitely get a return on your investment. Just timing would be of the essence. And when I think about that, it does, that is actually quite a positive thing, I would say. Um, just like with anything in this life, nothing good comes quickly or easily. And I think the greatest investments and returns that we get um, often take a little bit longer, than shorter ones. So I mean, I can wait, but can you see how much time possibly from the cards? It's not saying specifically how much time, love, because we didn't ask how much time it was going to take specifically. But it said it. What I'm seeing is that it would take longer. Um, it's saying it would take, with that Seven of Pentacles and the Star reverse. It's saying yes, you will make money, but it will take longer than you had anticipated initially. Um, but the answer is yes. You will make a profit. It would likely take longer than and I don't know how long you were expecting to see a return on the investment that you want to make. But it does look like it would take a little longer than what you were ideally hoping for. But the potential is absolutely there, 100%. Just Seven of Pentacles is also about patience as well. And so I don't see a specific timeline, and I don't know your timeline. But I do see. I think this would be a good chance for you to take. I do think you would see a return on your investment. I do, yeah. And I think it would be. I think it would pay off well. It would pay off well. You're very welcome. You are very welcome, Miss Mahogany. I wish you all the very best. Wish you the best of luck there. Don't think you need it. Thank you so much. Okay. Miss Wendy, my trip was a trip. It was good. It definitely had some wonderful aspects to it. I still haven't sent you a message over Instagram, but there were definitely some. I mean, my card got hacked into. My phone didn't work. My phone stopped working when I arrived the other day. I had to use someone's phone on the BART train, a random stranger, because my phone stopped working because my card had been shut off. And so it didn't automatically renew my cell phone service, and I couldn't pay for it because I didn't have Wi-Fi or anything. Yeah, it was just like one thing after another. And then today has been a shit show. I had not one, but two people. It was one person, but one person used my Uber twice for two different rides today. Someone fraudulently used my Uber, and I found another fraudulent charge on my card on Friday when I was at the airport. Like, I know it's not Mercury retrograde, but it's insane. Like, it's just like one thing after another. Yeah, it's a little crazy, but the trip was lovely. There were some things that were not that awesome. Yeah, but there were some things that were absolutely fantastic. But I'm so glad I went. Your card also got fraud charges. What is going on? Yeah, something is up. It's really weird. I don't know what happened, and now it is such a pain too, because now I have to like change. I have my card back. I received my card today. Mercury retrograde is in all of the water signs this year. Oh, interesting. Well, Aquarius is an air sign. It's not a water sign, but I definitely feel some Mercury retrograde. I usually pull cards before I go on a trip. I pulled cards for my trip to London, and I got some dicey ones there, and now I know why they were dicey, and I'll explain that offline. I didn't ask about Paris, but wow, I'd never encountered those phone issues. I never have any fraudulent charges on my card. The last time it happened was 4 years ago, and I was in Paris again. It seems to only happen when I'm abroad, which is so scary. Yeah, there were some scary things that happened, but overall, really, really lovely. I mean, yeah, Paris is just the best place in the world. You had to cancel your card twice. Yeah, I was afraid I'd have to cancel my card twice too, because I found that other fraudulent charge. So I called my bank today, and they said that you're fine, your card's fine. We see that we actually caught the fraudulent charge, and you can still use your card. Like, oh, thank God. Can't wait for another one again. Can I get a general of what's coming towards me in love? Absolutely, of course you can. Absolutely. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what is coming towards Wendy in love? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what is coming towards Wendy in love? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what is coming towards Wendy in love? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what is coming towards Wendy in love? Thanks, messages and spirit guides. What is coming towards Wendy in love? Thanks, messages and spirit guides. What is coming towards Wendy in love? Thanks, messages and spirit guides. What is coming towards Wendy in love? Thanks, messages and spirit guides. What is coming towards Wendy in love? Thanks, messages and spirit guides. What is coming towards Wendy in love? All right, we have the High Priestess, Page of Wands, Eight of Cups reversed, Justice, and Seven of Wands. Interesting. We got some action cards here. We got some forward momentum. This looks good. This looks good, girl. This looks really good. This looks promising. Now I don't know. We'll start with this High Priestess. I don't know if you've been going to like singles events, things like that. But Spirit is definitely saying, and Spirit has said this before, not just, regarding romance, but regarding other things in your life. Your intuition is so strong, and when you meet that next person, that next special person in your life, you'll know. You'll know when you meet them. It'll definitely be one of those situations. And Spirit is also saying with this Page of Wands that things are in your hands. Things are definitely in your hands. And just like with anything else, the more we put ourselves out there, the more we search, the more we expose ourselves, the greater of a chance we have at finding that person, or that job, or that house, or whatever the case may be, whatever we're looking for. But it's in your hands with this Page of Wands. And I see things changing. I see things changing with this Eight of Cups reversed. I see you moving on from not your past so much, but more past ways of thinking, like a new resurgence in the way that you approach love and romance in general. It's new year, new you. And I see a change. I'm sensing a change in the way that you approach romance and approach love, and that definitely benefiting you. And I also see you finding someone. This is how I also feel like you're gonna know. Like when you meet this guy, you'll know. When you know, you'll know with this Justice card, because the next person that you're gonna meet, that's of a romantic nature, is going to like you just as much as you like them. It's going to be an equal balance with this beautiful Justice card. And that is so hard to find, that equal balance between two people truly liking each other in the same capacity. Maybe not necessarily for the same exact reasons. I've been super busy, haven't gone anywhere new, but I'm thinking I should set up some dates before I get to Europe. By the way, I gotta move my car. Oh, yeah, no problem. You can go ahead and move your car, no problem. When are you going to Europe again? Yeah, I'm thinking about getting back on the old dating train again myself. I new year, new me, and I was asked out by someone, so I said yes. I was talking to this guy for a while, and we're finally gonna meet up. Give him a chance, see what he's like. Every time we talk on the phone, we have these great conversations. I don't even remember what he looks like, but I do really want to at least have coffee with him because he seems very interesting. But yeah, the Seven of Wands. This is an action card, love. This is things happening. This is also you knowing when you meet that person. Like I mentioned, when you know, you know. And that could be so hard to find. That not just that this equanimity with this Justice card, that can be very, very hard to find, that equal balance of affection between two people. But you'll also just know that this person, this connection is worth defending. Um, is what your is aligned with your values. This person will have the same values as you. Will want the same things as you're wanting. Um, and furthermore, the Seven of Wands is also telling me that you will have a stronger resurgence for dating, um, getting back into the dating scene, um, and thick skin as well, which we all need, you know, in every aspect of our lives, but especially with dating, you gotta have thick skin, right? Um, and this Seven of Wands is definitely maintaining those boundaries while you're dating, um, but having, you know, healthy boundaries, not too many boundaries, you know. So, you know, as you know, there's that perfect balance here with this Justice card, having just enough boundaries up so that you're able to protect yourself and not move things too quickly, um, or allow somebody else to move things too quickly. Um, but setting healthy boundaries for yourself and intentions for the type of person who you're looking for, who you're looking to date, and what you're looking to give, what you're looking to receive. I think intuition is a really big one here, um, and and an equal balance with this beautiful Justice card. I really think that I do think you're going to meet a Prince Charming. I do, and I think you're gonna, like, when you know, you know, it's gonna be one of those type things. Um, this looks really good, Miss Wendy. Um, it looks like you've got a really good resurgence. It's not, of course, you're busy. It's hard to meet anyone. Um, but yeah, you know, setting up dates abroad, or setting them up here before you leave. Um, just having that resurgence. Yes, I've also made peace with how things went with Samuel. I've been more friendly but professional. That's wonderful. That's wonderful to hear, Wendy. That's wonderful. Yeah, exactly. I know that feeling, love. I know that feeling where it's just like I'm at peace with what happened and I'm completely ready to move on. Like, you know you deserve so much better, and it was disappoint. Excuse me. His actions were disappointing to say the least. But if that's how he's behaving now, that's not the man for you, you know. Um, Lord knows I've been there, you know. Um, so yeah, I can definitely see that you're ready for a new man, and I sense bravery and strength within you as well. Um, with that beautiful Seven of Wands, he seems receptive to the friendliness, so I think we're past that point. That's good. That's good to hear. That's good to hear that you can maintain at least a healthy friendship or at least a healthy working relationship with one another. That's so important, and can be hard to establish after certain things transpire. So I'm definitely happy to hear that, love. Well, thank you so much, Miss Wendy. Much love and light to you, girl. And yeah, I will message you later about all the silly crazy things that happened on my trip. And yeah, I don't know when you're leaving for Europe, but I'm really excited for your trip as well. Thank you so much again, love. Brian Oliver, thank you so much for your donation, my friend. Please go ahead and post your question right there in the chat. Thank you. Hi, Brian. Good to see you. Good to see you. And thank you so much for your donation, my friend. All right. So are me, Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and my dad all going to have a jam session at my house soon? Okay. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and Brian, Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and his dad have a jam session soon? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian, Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and his dad have a jam session soon? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian, Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and his dad have a jam session soon? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian, Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and his dad have a jam session soon? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian, Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and his dad have a jam session soon? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian, Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and his dad have a jam session soon? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian, Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and his dad have a jam session soon? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian, Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and his dad have a jam session soon? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian, Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and his dad have a jam session soon? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian, Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and his dad have a jam session soon? We have 10 of Wands, 2 of Wands, the High Priestess, Knight of Swords reversed, and the Hanged Man reversed. Again, I'm getting very similar energies. I'm getting majority of folks are on board. And with this High Priestess right here in the center, correct me if I'm wrong, but you may even have an intuitive thought or intuitive feelings that I believe it's Jeremy who is the one who's not entirely on board all the time. That is this 10 of Wands burden that is coming into play, and things haven't changed there with his attitude, with this Hangman reversed, or his perspective on things. I still see one person being a stick in the mud, one person overthinking things with this Knight of Swords reversed, and it all goes back to him. It seems to all go back to him every time. This 2 of Wands, someone's on the fence about whether or not they want to participate here, making a decision. Is it Jeff or Jeremy who's the one that's going through things? Because it looks like everybody's on board except for one person. I just, and I'm not just saying that because I see this every time, but I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing it now. Especially with this Hangman reversed. Yeah, especially with this Hangman reversed. It's like there's someone or something hasn't changed. Someone's perspective hasn't changed. Someone's attitude has not changed. And it's not cohesive to the entire group of you getting together and having a jam sesh together. It's not totally impossible that he won't show up. I know you will. I know the rest of y'all will. I know your dad will. I know your other friends will. It's just that one problematic person, and I don't even want to call him problematic. The guy's just going through things and planning things out with everyone right now. Okay. And what are you getting good vibes from most people? Because I this 2 of Wands right next to this 10 of Wands here, it's like there's still someone who's carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders and trying to and on the fence with this 2 of Wands. in regards to making a decision about moving forward and actually going through with this. Have you? So you've discussed it with everybody at this point? Yeah. And does it feel like he's the one that's this that two of wands? It's literally the card of being on the fence, not having made a decision, not having made a solid decision. Do you feel like he's the one that's holding things back, or are there other folks holding things back? I'll I mean, from what the energies that I'm seeing here, it looks like everybody's on board except for one. There's just one stick in the mud. Especially with this high priestess right here in the center. It's like everybody's on board except for one person. Jeremy and I had a good talk last week, but he's still going through it. Yeah. And that's why I didn't like saying he's problematic, because he's not a bad guy at all. You guys are friends. He's a good man. He's going through it, and he definitely values your friendship. And but he's just going through a lot and doesn't know if he has the energy, the spoons to do it. Paul's still feeling good about it, right? Yeah, I get the sense that everybody's feeling good. I get the sense, literally, Brian. I'm not, I'm not here to lie to you. That's not what I do. I'm seeing here that everybody's on board except for one person. Everybody's on board. If anybody else does, I feel like everybody is on board except for one person. And there are different levels of folks being on board in different ways, because other folks, other people who you're trying to, the other guys who you're trying to get to have a jam session together, I think they recognize the difficulty that Jeremy's going through as well, and how that can bring some issues to the table, some difficulties to making this work, to making this function. So it looks like it's like people are definitely on board, but there's just one person that's just really stuck, really stuck, and really stuck in their own mind. This Knight of Swords reversed, the Hangman reversed. They're still not able to see things. They're still not seeing things from a different perspective. They're still seeing things from the same perspective that they have been seeing things for a while. And it's very difficult for them to change that perspective and to see things differently, to fully get on board with this, essentially. So it looks, on one hand, it looks promising. It really still could go either way when it comes to Jeremy. It really could. Like I said, he's on the fence. His perspective, his overall well-being hasn't changed dramatically. But it's definitely not a solid no from him. In regards to the other folks, I'm definitely getting strong yeses from them. I do feel like they're on board. They want to be on board. They want to see this happen. They want to make this happen. They see all the potential that you guys have, and he sees it too. But it's like I've mentioned in the past with him. He's in such a dark place right now that even though making music is good for him and good for his psyche and good for his well-being and improves it, it's still very hard for him to push himself in that direction, to muster that energy, that strength, and push himself in that direction. You know, so it's definitely not impossible. It's not set in stone right now. Um, I think you're definitely on the right track by organizing this, communicating with folks, making, seeing what pages people are on, and it looks good for the most part. It looks like you've done a good job um, in letting people know that this is definitely something worthwhile, and something that's fun and productive. Um, but it's a collaborative effort. We didn't get the Three of Pentacles reverse, but I'm thinking of that card where you need that full collaboration. It's not just one person. It's not just two people. It's not just three people. It's the whole team, and he's part of it. So I really hope that he can come along here and see that this would really be best for him and best for all of you at the end of the day. Um, but yeah, that is what I'm seeing for you. And I don't know how soon you were wanting this to happen, like within 1 week or 2 weeks or a month, or I'm guessing probably within the next week or so. But there's definitely still time to organize things, to get people on board, to rally people together, and you are doing a good job of that. It's definitely nothing personal. I can't stress that enough, and I'm sure you definitely know that at this juncture. It's nothing personal at all. It's just he's going through some unfortunate things that he's having a very difficult time navigating. So yeah, that is what I'm seeing for you, Brian. Thank you very, very much for your donation. I really appreciate you, and I definitely hope I brought you clarity there. Yeah, keep on trying to convince him. He's the one that needs convincing. The others, I definitely think are on board. It's just him that I see still being stuck, still being with that Hangman reversed, Knight of Swords reversed. I still see him being stuck where he was, in a place that makes it difficult for him to move forward here. Okay. Thank you so much again, Brian. Much love and light to you. All right. You're very welcome. Thank you. All right. So, let's see here. So, the donation queue is currently open. So, whoever makes a donation next will be read for next. Thank you all so very much. Of course, you got it, Brian. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Brian, for your donation, my friends. Let's go ahead and add you here. What's currently going on with Mike and Casey right now? Okay. And who are Mike and Casey? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. What is currently going on with Mike and Casey right now? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. What is currently going on with Mike and Casey right now? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. What is currently going on with Mike and Casey right now? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. What is currently going on with Mike and Casey right now? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. What is currently going on with Mike and Casey right now? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. What is currently going on with Mike and Casey right now? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. What is currently going on with Mike and Casey right now? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. What is currently going on with Mike and Casey right now? Oh, okay. Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. What is currently going on with Mike and Casey right now? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. What is currently going on with Mike and Casey right now? Alright, we have the Fool, Four of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, the Sun reversed, and Six of Wands reversed. So Casey, is Casey the one who stole your grandpa's book? And who is Mike? So what I'm seeing, he's definitely still got the book with this Four of Pentacles, still holding on to something. And from what I see, has no intentions of returning anything with this Fool upright. Whatever happened, happened, and is going to continue happening with this Wheel of Fortune right in the center. But he is going to get his karma big time. Mike was the singer. Okay. They're still there. I think that they're talking right now, but I see their connection crumbling with the Six of Wands reversed. I see a defeat. I see a loss. Like I said, I do see that they are yeah, he's still got that book, but they're also still talking to one another. They still have a friendship connection with one another. But there are, with the Sun reversed card, there's a lot of duplicitousness, there's a lot of shadiness, a lot of untruths, a lot of lies going on between the two of them that are going to be revealed and will implode in their faces. So for the time being, things are okay between the two of them. In the long term, and I don't even want to say the long term. I think in the not so distant future, I think that things are going to be dissolving between the two of them. I think that karma is going to hit, if not both of them, at least one of them. Yeah, things are okay between them now. They're rolling along. The Fool, the Wheel of Fortune, but they will be dissolving. The Sun reversed and the Six of Wands reversed. Things will be coming to a defeat. There won't be a victory here between the two of them. Which, yeah, to me is saying, you know, karma's a bee, and they should have known better. Because it's going to affect them. Like I said, if not just one of them, both of them. I definitely see karma hurting them in a bad way here. And I just hope that you get your book back. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I don't see that in the cards here. It looks like he's holding on to things very, very tightly with this Four of Pentacles, not letting go of something. But the reality of things are, and you know this too, I'm sure, is the longer he holds on to this book that does not belong to him, that he should not rightfully have, the worse things are going to get for him in his life, for him individually, and for those around him. Things will start crumbling. Things will definitely start crumbling if they haven't already started crumbling. I do see that already starting to come to fruition here. So yeah, for the time being, they're still talking. They're not on bad terms, but I don't see that lasting for very much longer, Brian. I definitely see things imploding here, and karma getting them getting their just desserts with karma here. You know. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing there. As it stands right now, they're still talking. It's not, things haven't imploded yet, but I do see things coming to a close and to a bitter, painful close between the two of them. So yeah, karma. That's just how it is, you know. He has something that is sacred and does not belong to him, and that will absolutely come back to haunt him in a big way. Possibly both of them is what I'm seeing. So it does not look good for them. That does not look good for them, my friend. Doesn't look good. Which is, you know, I don't wish ill upon people, but what he did to you is pretty, was very vile, very deplorable, and there's definitely you know, ramifications for that. So yeah, that is what I'm seeing for you, my dear friend Brian. Thank you so much again for your donation. I appreciate you, and hope I brought you some clarity there. And I really hope that you get that book back. It's really only hurting him more and more. He's not benefiting from it. He's really not. it's going to hurt him in a bad way. It's not right. It shouldn't be in his hands. It's not rightfully in his hands. So, well, thank you again, my friend. I appreciate you. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you. All right. So the donation queue is open again. Whoever donates next will be read for next. Thank you all so much. I'm here, no worries, I'm here. Hi, Wendy. Thank you so much for your donation, love. Let's go ahead and add you here. Yeah, you got it. What can I do you for? Can we get a general of what's better for me, the UK versus France, for overall happiness? Oh my god, story of my life. Story of my life. Yeah, let's see. So the first 5 will be for France, and the second 5 will be for the UK. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what would be better for Wendy, France or the UK? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what would be better for Wendy, France or the UK? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what would be better for... I know. And is this for travel or for moving? Angels, messengers, and spirits, what would be better for Wendy, France or the UK? Angels, messengers, and spirits, what would be better for Wendy's happiness, France or the UK? Angels, messengers, and spirits, what would be better for Wendy's happiness, France or the UK? Angels, messengers, and spirits, what would be better for Wendy's happiness, France or the UK? Okay. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what would be better for Wendy's happiness, France or the UK? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what would be better for Wendy's happiness, France or the UK? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what would be better for Wendy's happiness, France or the UK? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what would be better for Wendy's happiness, France or the UK? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what would be better for Wendy's happiness, France or the UK? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what would be better for Wendy, France or the UK? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what would be better for Wendy, France or the UK? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what would be better for Wendy, France or the UK? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what would be better for Wendy, France or the UK? Okay, for... Yeah. Do you speak any French? Because that's what holds me back from France is I don't speak French, whereas in the UK I wouldn't have that problem. But here's what we have for France. We have 4 of Swords, the Moon, 10 of Cups reversed, the Sun reversed, and 7 of Wands reversed. For the UK, we have 6 of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, Page of Pentacles reversed, the Emperor reversed, and Justice. I could learn, I could go to language school. Yes. Yeah, I don't know if you take, I've taken a lot of French classes. I've been taking them since middle school, and I still am just so bad at it. German, like I had to stop in Munich for a layover. I can understand. I can speak German. I took 1 semester of it in college, and I get German, but years of French, and I still just can't get it. I've thought about private lessons. I have French friends. I just can't seem to. It's such a difficult language, but you're also not me. But what I'm seeing here is in terms of happiness foundation, I think UK would be better. Let's start with France. We have the 4 of Swords, which is saying there's definitely a lot to take into consideration when it comes to France. It is the ideal place to live. I agree. But especially if you're not going to live in Paris, a lot of people speak English there, and yes, you can learn French. But when we're talking about foundations, when there is a language barrier, it can make things difficult. It can lead things to a lack of clarity, a lack of the a lack of what is known. We have the sun reversed and the moon upright. Um, I always joke that part of why I like being in France is because I don't, people can talk about me and I don't need to know what they're saying, but that can also cause some loneliness and confusion. Um, and we also have this Ten of Cups reversed right here in the center. We asked about happiness, contentment. Um, Ten of Cups is upright, is ultimate contentment, ultimate happiness. The sun is also ultimate happiness and contentment as well. And we do have those both reversed. I also see some difficulties with this Seven of Wands reversed. I heard that it's harder to become a part of the local community in France. I get that sense too. I get that. Well, yes and no. Oddly, I did not feel very welcomed in London, and I'll explain that offline. Um, I have more friends in France. Um, I feel like people like Californians, they like Americans, they think we're cool. Um, but it can be hard to establish yourself in any community anywhere. Um, but I wouldn't let that hold you back. You're a very gregarious person, um, and even with a language barrier, I think that you would fit in. I think that you would find community, um, but it can be difficult sometimes. Um, with anywhere, with anywhere. But with the UK, there is this with starting with the Six of Cups. There's this level of familiarity that comes with the culture. Um, it's just more similar to American culture in a lot of ways, not including just the fact that, oh my gosh, I don't know if I mentioned, but I swear I heard more Americans than I heard British people in England, and like locals, people who worked there, people who lived there. So many Americans living over there. I'm like, where did all the Brits go? Like, there's a lot of Americans over there. I also only spent one weekend there, so maybe I would have found more connection if I'd spent more time there. But I see things with the Wheel of Fortune upright. I see things moving in a good direction. I see things with a good solid foundation. Um, it would require, with this Page of Pentacles reversed, it would definitely require consistent motivation. Um, just because perhaps maybe one group of people or one job turns you down, not to let that bring you down, but to keep moving forward. You will find your footing. And I also see this with the Emperor reversed, possibly a feeling of a lack of agency at first, or just not completely solid footing, which I think is to be said, which can be said for moving anywhere far away, especially another country. But ultimately, I see things being more balanced in the UK, at least starting in the UK with this Justice card, establishing residency in Europe, even though UK is not part of the EU, you would be establishing residency in Europe. The biggest concern for the UK is the cost of living and weather. Yeah, yeah. It is a concern. It's what holds me back too. Both those things, the weather and the cost of living, is high. Although I was surprised, the pound is very high. The exchange rate's not great, but I was surprised by the cost of food, groceries, nights out, drinks. They weren't nearly as expensive as I thought they would be. Even little tchotchkes and things like that. I found a lot of really good deals. Grocery stores were a lot cheaper than they were here. Even in France, I noticed that the cost of food has definitely risen in France. Whereas I was quite pleasantly surprised by the prices I was seeing in the UK. Even like Uber rides, the cost of the tube is very affordable. Um, but yeah, rent is not cheap for sure. I think it's because we're also from SF area early, so we're used to it, not too different. Yeah, we also come from areas that are not cheap. That's for sure. Um, uh, there's something else I was going to mention there, and the weather as well. The weather. I was silly in saying, hey, let me go to London for a weekend in January. I mean, the locals were even saying like it is bloody effing cold. Like it is really cold. I'm like there was one day I could not leave the house. It was that cold. I think I had like I'm not even joking. I'm not being dramatic. I think I had very mild hypothermia. I was like tripping and like shaking. And I just had to go to my Airbnb and lie down. And I like tripped up the stairs twice. And I was like tingling all over. It was really, really cold. It was freezing. I did hear a lot of Americans everywhere. Yeah, yeah. And I stayed mostly in Camden, and I went to this one bar, the Black Heart. It's like a metal bar. My bartender was American. Everyone around me was American. When I went outside, the regular, hey, I haven't seen you here for a while. How's it going? Hey, I'm doing cool. All American. I'm like, where are the Brits? This is so weird. Like, it was so funny. Oh gosh, us Cali girls cannot handle that weather. I know, and stupid me. I was born in England in January. I should have known. It's always cold on my birthday everywhere, pretty much, unless I'm on the other side of the equator. Um, but yeah, and it's something that you do get used to. I definitely grew accustomed to wearing two pairs of pants. I wore leggings underneath my jeans. Um, you know, layers upon layers upon layers, hats, scarves, everything, the whole 9 yards. Um, I mean, I was thinking about moving to Ireland for a long time because that would get me entry into the EU, and it's even colder and damper there. That really scares me. The idea of living in Dublin, and it's not cheap there either, and I'm just not quite sure what I would do for a living. Um, you know, so it is interesting. It is what it is. I've got to figure something out. What people have told me is that even though it is more expensive, wages can be worth it. If I was going to mention that as well. It usually, you almost always, hopefully, usually, people's wages are commensurate with the cost of living in one's area if you find a good job. It usually does even out. Ireland seems really charming. Yeah, but I will say I do have a few clients from Ireland, and they're always talking so much crap about it, how bad the healthcare system is now, how bad this system is now, this, that, and the other. I'm like, well, you know what? I don't think you know how green the grass is on the other side here in America, because it's definitely greener in Ireland. Not just a joke, but for real, like, in both ways. I know that there's definitely been cuts, but there's been cuts here, like, big time, and it's scary. It's scary everywhere, but it's definitely doable, and I definitely think you're on the right track. And I think, yeah, I think starting in England would be good, and would have a strong, it would just provide you with a stronger foundation, and it's so close to France. You just take the train, easy peasy, super fast, super easy, very convenient, and would definitely help you establish residency in possibly both countries, moving back and forth, and ideally, it, you could find a job where you could work in both places. That would be the dream, really. Um, if you could find something. Um, oh, that is so cute. Sorry, one sec. Yeah, for me, I'd like to be at a place where I can establish a foundation, have a good job. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, opportunities. Yeah, I think there's lots of opportunities in France. I do, but they usually want you to know some French. Not always. And there's always opportunities to teach English without knowing French. In France, there's definitely opportunities to look into. Um, Things that I've definitely been thinking about myself and taking into consideration. Because I don't know how many years I've been talking about this for, how I want to move for what, 5, 6 years now, and for some reason it just keeps on getting scarier and scarier for me. I don't know. Um, I think I just need to take that leap. You know, something's gonna have to force me to take that leap. I think. Um, Hopefully not, but yeah. But so between the two, I think both are good for you, Miss Wendy. I really do. But I think the better launching pad would probably be the UK. Um, if anything, just because of the language, and it would allow you some time to learn French. Um, which of course immersion is the easiest, but also the thing I find problematic with immersion is when I try to speak French with people, they think I speak it completely fluently, and then I don't understand what they've just said to me. So I really hate speaking to people in French. um, I don't know if you've ever realized that or had that fear, but that's always my fear. Is I know a little bit of French, of course. I know some conversational French, but I'll say it and then people speak to me really, really quickly and they think I know French and I don't know what they've said to me, So it's immersion, yes, but it's also difficult too. I think I don't know. I'm very, but you're also talking to someone who's very bad at learning languages. Unfortunately, I majored in English. I'm great at English, and that it kind of just ends there. I think for me, it is. My accent is fantastic. It's amazing. I could speak with a French accent with speaking English, and people would think I was French. Most of the time, people actually think they just assume I'm French. I don't know if it's the way I look, the way I act, or what, but they assume I'm French most of the time, and I'm not. And yeah, and then I just get myself into trouble. I'm like, and I always got that in my French classes, like, wow, your accent is right on point, but you can't speak it. You can't speak the language, girl. Like, people would say that my accent in French is cute, so they know I'm not fluent. Oh, yeah, no, I always get like, yeah, native French speakers that I'm friends with that know me are just like, yeah, your accent's really really good. And then I'm so jealous of people. I have an ex boyfriend who's fluent in French, and he speaks it with an American accent. He cannot do a French accent at all, but he speaks absolutely perfect French. He did an immersion program for like a year where he just like everything was spoken. It was like Berlitz, and it was paid for by his job, and it he like wasn't even allowed to like think in English, and yeah, it was very very intensive, and he's totally fluent in French, um, no accent, but um, I would take the fluency and remove the accent any day. Yeah, it's a lot, but it's definitely worth it. The world is scary right now. I'm glad you got away for a bit. Yeah, and the world was scary there too, girl. It was the like I've never had such an exhausting trip. When I got there, the apartment door didn't lock. Didn't it I could hardly open the door, so I was stuck in my apartment for 3 days until I had to leave for London. Luckily, I was so jet lagged. I just just got groceries and left the door open a notch and just stayed in my apartment. But that was not good. Had to get a locksmith. My friend who owns the apartment wasn't there. Yeah, it was bad. There were a lot of just crazy shit storm things that happened. Um, something bad happened in London I can't talk about on here. And the credit card thing was scary. The phone thing was a pain in the ass. But it was still a wonderful trip. There were still lovely things. And I'm really so grateful I got to go away and just not be here, take a break for sure. But yeah, no, I was alone, not the whole time, but for a decent, about half the time, and it's overwhelming. It was scary. Thank God for ChatGPT, got my phone working and everything. But yeah, when I got there, I was stuck at the airport for 5 hours waiting to talk to my phone carrier because it wasn't working. I couldn't get anything to work. Like, just big, hugest nightmare. Missed a job, missed a modeling job I was supposed to have. Like, just, I sound like such a complainer, such a whiner right now, but there really were some mishaps that have just never happened during my travels before. But it is what it is, and I'm still really glad I got to go get away. For real. It felt more Mercury retrograde than actual Mercury retrograde has felt like in the past to me. It was just like one thing after another, and I started to think to myself, I was like, am I bringing this on myself? Because I was worried about this, that, and the other happening. Because I'd switched phone carriers and I didn't know their international plan. I should have looked up more about it. It's notoriously crap. I still haven't asked for my refund, but I ended up paying for eSIMs the whole time I was there, and for every country I was in, I had to get a new one. I didn't have Wi-Fi in my apartment unless my friend was there, and I could use their hotspot. I installed an eSIM before I went. I didn't even know they existed. I always just used my phone service, and I paid for an international service, and it just didn't work, and they weren't helping me. They couldn't help me. They were trying to help me, but their customer service knows jack shit. They didn't even suggest, hey, we'll refund you just so you can use your phone, download an eSIM. No, they want me on their plan. They want me using their plan, and it just wasn't working. So yeah, that's what I had to do. I didn't even know eSIMs existed, girl. I was trying to open up my little thing, and it wasn't opening up on my phone. I was freaking out. And then when I landed, I've just been dealing with a shitstorm of one thing after the next, and I have optimism that I have experienced the worst of it. Yeah, I was stranded. It was scary. It was really scary. And I still haven't called my phone carrier to tell them what's what, but yeah, that was not fun. But now I know about eSIMs. Now I know not to use this international plan that my phone carrier has, and I'll probably be switching to a different one. Locksmith has been taken care of. Yes, next trip will be a lot better, absolutely. And this year is just going to be a lot better in general. It was a rough month. I feel like it was a rough month for a lot of people. But I noticed that when I was doing people's yearly readings, I was noticing a lot of things happening in January for people that were not super favorable, but things improving as the year went on. So must be something in the cosmos, but yeah, next trip will be better for sure, and gotta get things organized. I heard astrologically things are going to really change after February. Do you feel it? I really do. Yeah, I do. And apparently Aquarius is supposed to be a big year for Aquarius for me. There's supposed to be some really major change. But I have a good feeling about the changes coming. It was honestly like one thing happening after the next. When I was there were good things, but then something would happen, this, that, the other. And it's hard to not be in a position, it's hard to not feel pessimistic when you're going through that, you know. So I was trying to maintain my optimism as much as possible. Yeah, I think your planet is. Yeah, I think it's moving into Pluto. If I or maybe you're right, or into or yeah, I think it's moving into Aries. It's finally out of your sign in April. Oh, okay, so I guess it's big changes for me then. Yeah, good changes. I welcome them. I definitely welcome them. Um, but yeah, no, it was a good trip. Just some stressful things, but managed to take care of them. Love Europe. I just love Europe so much. Of course, love. Of course, you go eat, enjoy your dinner. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you, love. All right, so I'm gonna do a last call for all donations. If you have a question you would like me to answer for you tonight, please let me know. Send in your donation, and I am more than happy to read for you. Last call tonight for any and all donations. Thank you. Last call tonight for any and all donations. Thank you. Last call tonight. Last call for any and all donations. Thank you. All right, looks like everyone is happy and taken care of. Thank you all so very much, and I will see you all again soon. Good night. Bye.